Hello, welcome to another edition of the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's. Thank you for being here. Big John Malkowski, St. John's Radio Network, Marty Bin, Fairway Mortgage, but we go back to the old radio days and been arguing for, probably 10 years on Toledo airwaves.
It's longer than that.
Is it really?
It's longer, yes. I'm sure it's longer than 10.
I'm sure it seems longer.
It seems like a long time.
How's everybody today?
I'm sitting here thinking a couple weeks ago I was drafted, and you guys didn't tell me that Josh Gordon was a shoe-in number one receiver since he'd be a Patriot. I'm a little angry with both of you for not telling me to do that.
Well, that would be segment 2 if you take a look here on the sheet here.
I wasn't skipping ahead to that part. I was just
segment 2.
I was just saying that when it came to drafting, you guys.
This is doing him no good whatsoever.
Never has.
None whatsoever.
All right, I'm good otherwise.
Wanted to start off with your Rockets.
It was. I know what you think, but it was a great day. And you.
Do you really know what I think?
I think I do. I think I know what you think.
I bet you don't. Go ahead.
Okay, tell me what you think.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I asked first.
It was an absolutely great day, and if you were out there, the atmosphere, the community support, the whole thing, it was absolutely fantastic. And I understand the outcome wasn't what people would have hoped for, but it was a great day to be out there.
I thought it was a win for the University of Toledo. Not football team, obviously.
Because I saw like 49-24, I think was the...
But in everything else.
We're not even talking about a moral victory here. We're talking about a victory for the university.
For the university. 26,000 people in a sold-out Glass Bowl.
On ESPN2, a game that people probably did tune in to watch some part of early.
You've got
national exposure.
130 or so recruits. 130 was the number I heard. That took in that atmosphere of...
Every bit of that.
A sold-out crowd.
Can we put to rest the MAC and playing on the top national level? Can we put that to rest now?
Well, one game doesn't put it to rest, but I'm not sure it's ever been entirely. My argument has always been the same. It's if you take the lower level Power 5 teams, take the bottom, say, 40 or 50% of those conferences, and the top 3 or 4 MAC teams in a year, they're competitive with each other. But when you get to those elite level programs, the top 10 to 15 level programs, especially talent-wise, it's tough. I mean, it's just guys are bigger, faster, and stronger. But I don't know that I would say they're not competitive. It's just they're not competitive at the highest level, which I know plays into your argument for we need a junior national championship or something else.
No, it's not a junior national championship. But they're never going to be in a playoff. Never going to be competing for a national championship. It's not going to happen. If that's okay with everybody, fine. I think it would be nice to be able to play for something in December instead of a trip to Mobile or going all the way up to Ford Field.
I offer what I've told you. I think if you ask the young men on that football team whether they would like to have that atmosphere and this opportunity or drop down and have a chance to win a different championship, that the overwhelming majority would be in favor of the status quo.
They're not mutually exclusive. This is where I think we differ on this. They're not mutually exclusive. What I'm saying is, for the conferences like the Mid-American Conference and the Big West and the Conference USA and whatever, let's get a playoff for those schools. Let's get for the mid-majors. We know the mid-majors are not on the same level. If somebody happens to get a bid for the playoff at the top level, they can go ahead and take it. Otherwise, let's get a playoff going for schools that have likability.
You're saying an NIT to the NCAA tournament.
But then you're basically...
Not necessarily, no.
I mean, you're basically adding a third tier somewhere between 1A and 1AA. Or
absolutely. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
As many years as I've argued with him on this, I actually think he might be onto something here, that you open up that opportunity, you keep it Division I, you do whatever else, and then instead of playing in the bowl games that no one wants to go to in places no one's there and no one watches, let ESPN or whatever, let them have, I mean, now it's a playoff. Now people actually might tune into the thing, because, I mean, some of those games are unwatchable.
No doubt.
But, take the top, do the 12-team playoff like they should have. Your 12-team idea for the big schools, do the 12-team idea for the the next tier, and the top few get a bye. The top 4 seeds that get a bye. Everybody else plays a play-in game, and away you go.
But you'd still have to do it within the bowl system because all these bowls are out there.
Yeah, but now the bowl matters a little bit. Now the teams give it. I mean,
nobody's still going to Mobile for the Capital GMAC or whatever that's called.
Doesn't have
I think
to.
it was the GoDaddy.
Whatever. The Pool and Weed Eater Bowl.
Yes.
Nobody still cares.
It doesn't have to be in the bowl system.
Well, it does because you've got all these bowls who have already paid a bunch of money to be a bowl.
Wait. I think I could find common ground for the three of us. But do we agree that most of those bowls need to just go away?
Oh, absolutely.
And if the TV money got shifted to something else, the bowls would die.
But it's not going to happen.
But those schools don't have to go. They could decline to go to bowls.
Well, and if the TV...
You're not forced to go to a bowl game.
Again, I hate to... You know how much giving him credit for an idea bothers me. I mean, I'm going to probably go on retch in the parking lot, but at the end of the day, if MACtion... I mean, we decry MACtion, right, the weekday games. But if MACtion's getting that much money for the conference and those teams, you're telling me that ESPN wouldn't love a MACtion version of a playoff instead of the bowl system that kind of mattered and had regional people tuning in?
But ESPN already owns all these bowls. So, I mean, they've already put their money into the bowls.
And I think the ratings on a lot of those bowls continue to dwindle, so that
you don't have
But it's
to
on
go,
a Tuesday night
You don't
in December.
have to go to the bowls.
But unless there's big money behind it,
And you can play on campus.
but unless there's big money behind it, no team is going to turn down a bowl to play in a junior national championship. Because
How many times does a MAC school go to a bowl game and they lose money?
Like I said, I hate agreeing.
But you're going to lose even more money if you go to the junior national championship.
Not
if there's not
if
a
you host
backer
it.
behind it.
If you host it, which you would do every other year in theory if you kept making it, or every year if you were the higher seed, the rash is starting.
It was a coup for Toledo to get Miami to come in for a lot of different reasons, but the most is the money, because I don't know if we've talked about it on this show before, but many MAC schools struggle financially to try to keep up with everybody else. So you have to be able to do these things to be able to make money to have the program. So I get all that.
But there's also a reason that Miami was the school that was here. Most of those big schools aren't going to be a visitor into Toledo.
It's because Miami doesn't
making
sell
my
out
point
at home.
for me.
But you're not going to get anybody else to come in. I mean, Miami was a one-time thing.
Make it my point for me.
And my only argument to that is we say that, but Missouri's been here and Arizona's been here, and I mean.
Yeah, but none of them are.
Pitt was here.
Name school. I mean, you're never going to get an Ohio State or a Michigan State or.
No, but they did get neutral site games.
Right, the home against
Cleveland.
Ohio State, where UC was the home game in Cleveland.
Still an awful lot of money.
That was
an awful
great.
lot of money.
So, because for what you said before, I don't want to take away from those mid-major schools being able to get those paydays to keep their programs alive.
Right.
All right, because I think that would,
Alive and thrive.
that would be the death of it all.
And I think if we want to talk about how they're thriving, look at the transfer to the NFL that continues to happen from the mid-majors. And I think you can make a case that competing at that level is part of the reason.
All right, coming up, we will talk some NFL, some Josh Gordon, let's see, Vontae Davis, and we probably don't count on us agreeing again during the show. It's from our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's.
Look, I actually have a rash.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, Mortgage Marty here from Fairway Mortgage. New office is open at 5577 Monroe Street in the Promenade Shops. And those of you that watch know how competitive I am, so here's my challenge. The large national company you always see at every sporting event from up north who has that Rocket app that I hate, we have a competing app called the Fairway Now app. And the best part of the Fairway Now app is you get actually somebody local to help you after you use it. So log in, try it. It's on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us, the Fairway Now app. Have a great night.
Red Wing Shoes, a quality built to last, just like the legacy of service at your Red Wing Shoes dealer, North Reynolds at Bancroft in Toledo. Family owned and operated since 1982. 4 generations building a legacy of quality and service for years to come. Our sales staff has over 95 years selling and servicing Red Wing shoe products, and we have the largest selection of Red Wing shoes in Northwest Ohio. Irish Setter, Works, and our USA-made heritage shoes. In stock, no waiting. Red Wing Shoes, North Reynolds at Bancroft, where service, quality, and fit come first.
All right, welcome back for our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. All-you-can-eat wing specials for Ralphie's for the Sunday nights, Monday night, Thursday night games at Ralphie's. Check it out right there. We were there watching football last week. So.
I was trying to stay awake while watching the team I cheer for in what was an absolutely unwatchable, awful, horribly played. What's that old thing about what do you think of the execution? I'm in favor of it.
Yes.
Well, I was in favor of all. I mean, both teams should just be barred from playing in the NFL anymore this season because they're awful.
All right, now you can talk about Josh Gordon.
Oh. Wait. If you're the rest of the NFL, don't you just want to drop kick the Browns into the corner? I mean, like the way they played. I mean,
Why? I mean, what?
They're drop kicking themselves into the corner.
This guy, he's played 11 games in 5 years. It's not like they're trading Randy Moss at the peak of his skills or Terrell Owens. I mean, it's a guy who has 1 catch this year.
I'm well aware of his recent struggles and whatever else. We've talked about plenty here.
And that's why the Patriots.
And by the way, they drafted his little twin brother this year from Florida, as if that was going to be different.
Well, but that's why the Patriots put in there that if he's not active for 10 games, then they get picked back, which is very likely going to happen because I can't imagine he's going to stick on that team
If I was
very
a
long.
betting man, he's going to play 8 or 10 games this year and have 800 to 1,000 yards and 7 or 8 touchdowns. And I would bet that. If you'd like to wager that after the show, see me and we can work out a wager. Because something about guys that go there and are in trouble, they don't hang around forever, but they manage to get their head around it, and there must be a drink they give them.
Well, except for Chad Ochocinco, who
he
never could figure out the playbook.
But he was already a bum by then in terms of talent.
You have leaders on the team that will not allow people to act the way Josh Gordon's been acting.
And
pull a hamstring at a promotional shoot.
And a front office that has structures in place.
I would bet more that he is not even on the roster in Week 17 of the Patriots.
You ever seen the 30 for 30 on the bad guys, on the bad boys, the Pistons? In Lane Beer, when Mahorn came in and he says, "This is the way it's going to be. Here's what we do." Of course, Mahorn didn't like that, and Aguirre just went, "Whatever, just throw the balls out." But that's what you get, I think, when you go into New England. You don't get that when you go into Cleveland.
No.
Yeah, but New England's done this with a lot of guys. Brought in guys,
Randy Moss
comes
to mind.
But Eric Decker and Chad Ochocinco and
LeGarrette Blount. Who was the other tailback that was
Corey Dillon.
Corey, thank you. I mean, there's a little bit of precedent. And by the way, they don't stay for a long time because I don't think you change the character of a person. But, guys coming in and deciding, hey, this is my last option. I better be on my good behavior for a minute with something to prove. I like that guy sometimes. And in a new environment, they keep the chronic out of his mouth and good stuff might happen.
What does it say that they would rather trade a draft pick to get Josh Gordon than sign Des Bryant?
It tells me that Josh Gordon can take the top off of defense, and Des Bryant's better days are bad. I mean, Des wasn't a speed demon to start with, and guys in the slot will turn around at 8 yards and catch a ball when they're wide open, or a dime a dozen. Guys that can, scare the heck out of you, where your free safety's got to know where he is on every play, are not a dime a dozen. And Josh Gordon is that guy.
Well, and you know who the Patriots have this week already. Norm's Detroit Lions on Sunday
Not
Night
my
Football.
Detroit. I'm a Raiders fan. You know that.
Well, okay, you're NFC Detroit Lions.
We're not going to talk about Matt Statfiller today, are we?
Not my Lions. I told this story
every
before.
important throw he had in that game he missed, and all the garbage ones he hit.
I told the story before. Last time I ever rooted for the Lions was the game against New Orleans and Tom Dempsey. When Alex Karras in the defensive line was laughing at him for lining up for the field goal. That was the last time I got off of that bandwagon a long time. I think I was 6 or 7 years old at the time.
That was a good move. That saved you a lot of grief.
Well, until now with the Raiders. So I get a lot of grief
Yeah.
now.
You know what the Raiders really need is a pass rusher.
They do.
If only they had a guy
Their
who could rush from the
secondary
end.
would be so much better if the quarterback wasn't back there with all day to throw.
Stick another $25 million on the cap, and they could have done it.
I don't know.
Other teams have figured out how to do it.
The Bears seem
Again,
Rams-
the Bears do not have a quarterback that's making franchise money.
Well, how are the Rams doing it with
They don't have a
Donald and
quarterback that's making franchise
No,
money
but they've
either.
got Donald and Sue and
Gurley.
Gurley and-
got a nice check this year.
and
But he's still on a rookie
Peters.
contract.
no,
Ain't he?
Gurley
No,
signed
Gurley
an-
redid a new one.
Yeah, he signed an
And what's he
extension.
making?
12 or 14, I think.
That's not 25.
Yeah, but for a running back, it's big money.
So
There are an
they're-
awful lot of running backs by committee. Ask Le'Veon Bell what happens.
And
So they're
Aaron,
probably getting Gurley and Sue for what
but Aaron Donald got
Khalil Mack cost.
20 plus.
Nobody has two $25 million contracts. They don't.
No, but I still think you can
And
try to
if
figure
they
it
would have
out.
re-signed him, they would have went, how
What's
stupid are the
Antonio Brown-
Raiders
What does
for
Antonio Brown make?
blowing a quarter of their, I don't know, as of we're taping this, he wasn't in Pittsburgh.
Well, speaking of dysfunctional situations, boy, that it seems like there's somebody pulling the string on an old rug at this point, and it's just falling apart.
Or you could be like Vontae Davis.
Yep, I'm done.
You know what? I don't really feel like doing a third segment now. If I was going to be like Vontae Davis, say, "Hey guys, it's been great.
Yep.
I'm out of here."
He was making slightly more than you guys are for doing this. So.
He lost interest.
Thoughts? Players weren't happy.
Oh, it's awful. I mean,
Is it awful if you're being honest with yourself? I know everyone hates the timing, but I don't want a guy going out there that's heart's not in it.
but at least say, call the coach aside, coach, I don't think I can do this, send out the young guys and at least be there for the rest of the game. And then,
But to me, that's semantics. If you've quit in your head and you take your help, I've been part of teams where you can tell a guy quit and he didn't have the chutzpah to admit it, so he goes out there and dogs it and hurts the rest of the team because he wouldn't go to a coach and say, mentally, I'm checked out today.
Have you ever quit a job in the middle of a shift?
Yes.
Really? Really?
Yep.
I have not.
Yep.
I
I
not
distinctly remember it was a boss that I just could not hack anymore, and he told me to do something, and I said, I did that. And he said, well, do it again. I said, just because? He said, just because. I looked at him and said, I am not 12 years old anymore. No.
what,
And
you were 18, 19?
I was like 21.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a half hour left on the clock, and I'd done everything on the list for the day. And he said, well, go back and redo two of them again so you're not standing around for a half hour. And I was like, give me something productive to do. And he goes, no, just go do that because I don't feel like dealing with you right now. So I quit. So it wasn't halfway through.
Because
but
I
it
think
was-
everybody's felt like the Jennifer Aniston character in Office Space.
Yeah.
When the manager asked her to express herself.
Yes, I have.
I wanted to do it many times and never walked off the middle of a shift.
Well, and how bad do you have to be as the Bills? The guys are just quitting in the middle of games.
Well, they are pretty bad.
I was gonna say, and the consequence of the entire thing is still they weren't gonna win anyway. I mean, it's a consequenceless crime in my opinion.
How would you like to go out there and not be into it and know that you're going to quit after the game and then get hurt in the second half?
Well, but that's what I mean, just go, hey, I'm not going to play, but, send out the young guys, let them go, let them play.
All right.
Semantics.
Just when you think you've seen it all. We'll take a time out. When we come back, we'll take a look at the games coming up tomorrow and Monday night in the NFL. It's the Front Row Roundtable Show presented by Ralphie's.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
At Ralphie's, it's primetime football every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday nights. Enjoy endless wings starting at 8 p.m. each night and carry-out specials every day. Plus special pricing on all Labatt products, plus new craft and IPAs for the fall. As always, beer buckets only $10 Friday and Saturday.
Bring yourself to Ralphie's. Yeah, it's that good.
Hey, Mortgage Marty here from Fairway Mortgage. New office is open at 5577 Monroe Street in the Promenade Shops. And those of you that watch know how competitive I am, so here's my challenge. The large national company you always see at every sporting event from up north who has that Rocket app that I hate, we have a competing app called the Fairway Now app. And the best part of the Fairway Now app is you get actually somebody local to help you after you use it. So log in, try it. It's on Facebook, on Twitter. You can find us, the Fairway Now app. Have a great night.
Powerbomb Wrestling is back in action in Toledo on Sunday, September the 30th at 5 p.m. at St. Clements Hall, 2990 Tremainsville Road. The Bachelor, Ben Boone, and Unchained Brandon Day battle for the heavyweight title, this time with the amazing Nate Matson as special referee. You'll see a lumberjack match for the tag team titles. Also, the Midwest title and the women's title will be defended. Get your tickets now at pbwexcitement.com. It's the best wrestlers in the Midwest, Sunday, September the 30th. And back we are in the Front Row Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. Norm, Big John, Marty. All right, NFL, as we tape this during the week, so we tape this before the Thursday night game, so we don't know what, as we're taping this, know what happened with Cleveland and the Jets. In a power-packed Thursday night matchup. You'll notice the Thursday night games pick up significantly when Fox takes over, I think, in week 5.
Yes.
When they put them on real TV and not NFL Network.
And the Browns weren't on locally last week. So I'm sure that.
Much thanks to all the Browns fans who didn't have to watch that debacle.
Well, I don't understand what's wrong with the old system of how they did it. If you were NFC, you were on Fox. AFC, you were on CBS. And if it was inter-conference, it was the road team.
Yeah,
but they don't do that now.
Well, I think the difference was the Lions are on Fox and they trump the Browns when it's a Fox game.
I know, but the game was was in New Orleans, so technically it should have been a CBS game.
No, it should have been a Fox game. Or well, no, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works anymore.
That's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
If it was one conference against the other, it would be the road team.
I'm going to speak for 90% of the audience here, and I don't care what anyone says. Everything you guys just talked about to me is wah-wah. Anything that gets the Browns off my TV where I don't have to watch that every week
You
is
don't have
fantastic.
to watch.
Well, that's why I watch NFL Red Zone.
What I'm saying, though, is when I'm clicking channels and it's, so I consider this a success. Whatever they've changed to make it so it's not obligatory to watch that
Just
product
watch
until
your
it gets
DVR
clean.
episodes of Yes to the Dress or something like that. So.
Stop it.
Actually, if you want to have some fun, go to where WTOL puts on their Facebook page that the game's not going to be on, and read the comments. Those are really fun. You just don't want us to watch. Yeah, that's it.
We're trying to save you from yourself.
Not as good as the comments were on Mike Seidel's Twitter page. If you don't know, look it up. All right. And by the way, did you see where the Hugh Jackson said he did not know that the kicker was injured? Nobody told him.
How many times have I said?
That just shows you how dysfunctional the organization is.
Thank you. Because I've said it's not the players. It starts at the top, and then it just filters all the way down through the entire. It's like.
I mean, that should never happen. What do you think Belichick would have done? Guys would have been fired.
I was going to say I wouldn't want to be there.
Yeah, I was actually rooting for New Orleans to miss that last field goal so the Browns could start 0-2.
The high-flying Lions are on Sunday night, home against New England.
Well, perfect game for Matt Statfiller because they'll be down big early and he can sling the ball around.
You see what I mean about his accuracy?
Yes, it's absolutely wonderful on checkdowns.
And it always shows up on third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 24, he's good for an 18-yard completion.
Well, or it'll be a little slant pattern or something, skinny post, whatever. We'll throw it behind the guy. You know, it's.
Again, this is look. There's an actual rash from the first segment. This is also something we agree on. So by the end of the show here, I should be completely broke out into hives.
Didn't dream they'd be this bad, though. It just.
When
they're staring at 0-3.
When you can't protect your quarterback, ask Seattle. There's a lot of teams right now. If you can't protect your quarterback and you can't, you have two choices. You can establish the run, right, to take some of the pressure off and shorten the game up. But if you can't establish the run and you can't protect your quarterback, both functions of a really bad offensive line. In the NFL right now, you are in deep trouble because people are going to bring it.
You think New Orleans going to lose or New England's going to lose 2 in a row?
No.
I can't imagine Brady's going to have a big problem on Sunday nights.
Well, especially if Darius Slay.
Yes. So this is an elimination game, right? If you're the Lions.
If you're 0-3, I'm sure the numbers say it's pretty tough.
Well, in that division,
you're done.
With Green Bay, Minnesota.
And Chicago not being a layup when you play them. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Elimination game. 3 weeks in. And there's a lot of that. by the way.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked at the schedule. There are a lot of elimination games 3 weeks into
Oh,
the
yeah.
year where you could just start planning for next. If there was tanking in the NFL, there are teams that already should be tanking, a la NBA style.
Unless your team is playing at 1 o'clock, I don't see a whole lot there at 1 o'clock. New Orleans and Atlanta, everybody thought New Orleans was going to be much better than this. Because I took them in the pool, in the survivor pool, and had to sweat that one out. Yeah, I had to sweat that one out a little bit.
I don't understand what's going on there either.
Yeah, that defense is just
Does not look the same
no.
They definitely don't.
at every level.
Your safe pick is probably Minnesota at home against Buffalo.
I would say
Anybody
I would
playing
say
Buffalo anywhere, I think, is a safe pick.
I'm not sure you want to
Browns,
waste
Buffalo,
Minnesota
Jets,
early.
Buffalo. You got to think about it. I mean, the Jets do play them twice.
Yeah, but
this year.
come on, the Browns have not played like a winless team. I mean, they could be 2-0 at this point.
But that's why they're the Browns.
Yeah, but Pittsburgh's not looking like world beaters at this point in time,
No.
and the Saints are looking like not what we thought they'd be. So let's not give them too much credit before the season plays
and now
out.
you got nobody on the other side of Landry, so he gets double teamed. That's going to really help them out
They
a
didn't
lot.
have anybody the last 2 weeks either. Josh Gordon had 1 catch.
All right, Monday night, Pittsburgh is at Tampa Bay.
I would take the over on whatever the number of points in that game is. Whatever.
Fitzpatrick, it's nuts.
Mahomes.
In our league, nobody picked up Fitzpatrick because they didn't believe it.
No one. He's been taken off waivers in ours, but he was sitting there as recently as before this week because no one believed it.
I hope Jameis Winston sells some crab legs left over from Publix.
I mean, does anybody think that's his job already?
It's got to be. It's got to be
Jameis
Fitzpatrick's
Winston,
job.
Jameis Winston is not getting that job back when he comes back. It's not, the old you can't lose your job because of injury or anything. I mean, this isn't injury. This is
Suspension.
screwing yourself. I mean,
Right.
It's Jameis' own fault. He's not out there.
Well, that Mahomes in Kansas City. I mean, that's exciting to watch him.
Well, all the people that hated on Andy Reid for getting rid of Alex Smith off his best year ever have got to be shaking their head going, oops, I got to believe that the
I
coach.
liked him coming out of college. I thought he was somebody that could develop. I didn't see this coming, but
But I always say this, the coaches are there every day in practice. Okay, that guy. It's not like some guy coming from another team where you really don't know and you've got limited film on it. They saw him every day and they were completely comfortable, like Rodgers when they did the Favre to Rodgers moves and some of the. They knew what they were getting.
Well, and the Chiefs have also changed a lot of their offense. They're not going to a little dink and dunk because that's not what Mahomes does.
Well, yeah, but-
Alex
but
Smith couldn't go down.
Look at what
All
that
right.
offense is with the spacing.
we got to get out. You can hit us up on Twitter. We're usually on Twitter during this show, so you can hit us up on Twitter anytime. Powerbomb Wrestling coming your way at 2 a.m. You can't catch it, DVR it. You can't do that. So you can either catch it on Fight.tv or the YouTube channel with old episodes of this too. All right, we're done. More NFL next week. We'll do this each and every Saturday night. It's from our Roundtable show presented by Ralphie's. We'll see you next week.